to interview Andrewtate.
It's not about deleting entertainer. It's about literally changing the perception of reality so they can enslave humans. It's beyond just the inconvenience of I was an entertainer, I lost my channel. It's we want to enslave people. We want to trick people into getting a vaccine they don't need. We want to convince people to stay home and miss their fucking grandmother's funeral.
Who's they? Who's the Matrix? Who's they?
You tell me who you think they are.
I don't know. Because look, I'm saying if it's the government, why would they just not stop you? So it's not the government.
There's people above governments. Maybe not in Dubai so much.
So like kind of like Illuminati type like concept.
What do you think, James?
I see this when I see a well-written Joe Biden tweet. I'm like, who's got his phone? Who's got his phone? Because that can't be him.
Yeah,
I've seen him an hour ago doing something.
Women to us, we put them here, like they're our diamonds, our gold. You're not going to show me what your pen is or give me your bank account. Same as our women, we don't want to share them. Call that selfish, call that territorial. We see them as like, I don't want to share. I don't want her to be seen by everyone else, you know? So I'm not saying my wife's covered, I'm saying that's what our thing is. Whether it's covered or not, we see it as territorial, we see it as protection, so it's the status we give them. And people think it's oppression. It's not. Oppression is, like you said, you have to wear masks, you have to be locked down to this, but that's oppression.
Yeah, but I want to say something. Don't you think men are ruining that as well? People are now idolizing all these Instagram models wearing bikinis and all these girls doing like haram behaviors, right? You go to a party, what type of girls are there messing around with every guy? It's those haram girls type of thing, right?
Good point.
And now a lot of people, not saying it was any of us, let's say they might now have that good woman at home, but now they're still going to the party, chasing these girls, which are doing nonsense. And now that wife at home sits there like, hey, I was a good woman, I was staying loyal, and he's just gone with another girl doing some messed up stuff.
Subject we're gonna get into.
And I feel like, I think 20 years ago, men cheated on women, and now it's starting to become the reverse. Women are just doing what men did 20 years ago. And I feel like that's why 30 years ago, your mom, none of them would have been out messing around in parties. Nobody.
Yeah.
I think you guys can agree with that.
No,
30,
100%.
40, 50 years ago, they were actually at home.
It's an honor.
But then that whole shift became of parties and girls wearing bikinis and messing around and sleeping with men.
But
and
why
all
do you
these-
think that shift came?
I'll tell you why. In my opinion, Mark Zuckerberg, boom, it's easy. Instagram, social media, the DMs they get, bro.
Yeah, I think that the only reason that even happens in the world is because not enough masculine men stand up against it. And the reason all society degrades in basically all realms is because not enough masculine men exist. I would sit here and argue that the reason there's so many women acting in this way is because nobody's telling them not to. And the men who used to tell them not to don't. I live in Romania. I chose to live there. I'm 0% ethnically Romanian. If I go on a date with a 26 or 27-year-old girl, she has to be home at 10 because her dad said so, at 27. You don't see that in the West. It's just a different society. So I'm saying that as you destroy the masculinity, as you destroy the protectors of society, everything degrades. We can talk now about the bathroom situation. We can talk now about women running around being crazy. We can talk now even about men being crazy to a degree. When there's no longer strong masculine role models to say, no, this is stupid, that's stupid, then everything falls down.
Are you ever looking to get married or have one lady that's like, that's your partner?
That's a good question. If I was married, I certainly wouldn't say it on a podcast. And yes, absolutely. I do believe in family, and I do believe in having a link and in
that situation, would you? That's it. No other women.
I don't. And this is going to get me in trouble. This is going to get me in trouble. And I think I've answered this before in a lot of different ways. I will sit here and argue the point that I truly believe that if a man has a woman he completely loves, and if he does do X, Y, Z, he still loves that woman. He wants to be with her forever, and he will die for her. I don't think it's the same. I don't think that a man doing that is anywhere near the same as a woman doing that. I think that we're completely different evolutionarily. Comparing men and women in that paradigm, I don't think it's a fair comparison. I think that since the dawn of human time, men have always had most masculine men. The kings, the knights, the leaders, they always had more than one woman. They had their wife and they had their concubines, etc. I think that's the way that humans have been evolved to be. I think that men have always been this way to a degree. I think that women even instinctively themselves know it, brother. This is the point. Women instinctively themselves know it. You think if a woman fucks Ronaldo, she thinks, oh yeah, he's loyal. They don't give a shit. They don't care. So my point is that humans have been set up a certain way. Society's come along saying one man, one woman. That's a good thing. I agree that's good overall for society. I don't think that now saying that a man should completely ignore all of his base instincts is 100% the answer to it. I'm thinking that the answer to it is for women to be the gatekeepers to the sexual marketplace because they always have been and they need to be. Why?